boing, 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 boing. So I started reading this article today about Eddie Izzard. Now, I like Eddie Izzard a lot. I think Eddie Izzard is funny, clever, witty, arch, catty, superior. I like Eddie Izzard a lot. And it turns out, Eddie Izzard shocked me when he first came out, because here's a man who's obviously a man. He's not terribly effeminate or anything, although he's British, but that goes with the territory. But he comes on and he's a man, but he's got lipstick on and he's got fingernail polish on and he's wearing high heels. And I go, what the so, well, it turns out in the article that Eddie Izzard has now come on as trans. He's come out as trans. He also came out as gay, which is great. Whatever, that's your business. But what disturbed me about the article was he was talking about how it's taken him 35 years of struggling to be able to express himself this way. And I think this is terrible in the 21st century to be able to say that it's taken that long for him to attain not only social acceptance, but acceptance of himself and love of himself. And that he, for decades, experienced on a daily basis, several times a day, massive panic attacks where he would sweat, his hands would sweat. He couldn't control his feelings. He couldn't control his fear. Panic is fear. Couldn't control his fear. And this is Eddie Izzard. This is not just some guy lost in stuck in a little one-room apartment down in, the East Village and desperately hanging on for his life. This is Eddie Izzard. This is a world-renowned entertainer, a man who travels all over the world and works consistently. And that's very disturbing to me. And my heart went out to him. And anybody out there who hears this, who thinks that they have the moral right to put somebody else down for their condition, not for their choices, for their condition. Eddie Izzard is who Eddie Izzard is. He is what he is. He hasn't chosen to be this thing. He is this thing, and he's finally come to grips with it. He's finally been able to reconcile himself with who he truly is and express himself. The fingernail polish and the longer hair and the lipstick in the early days was very courageous to step out and do. Nobody was doing that. And he was accepted on an international level as who he was. But he wasn't really who he was. Who he was trapped inside there and couldn't get out and didn't know how to express itself. And that, to me, is tragic. And we have got to come to grips as a people, as a culture, as a civilization, with diversity and understand the humanity of us all. We are all human beings, and we all have our different things. Some guys like trout fishing, other guys like to dress up in drag clubs. I like to play guitar. My wife sometimes gets very irritated with me because I sit around practicing the guitar a lot. And do I have anything to show for it? Am I a world-renowned guitarist? No, I am not. I don't even play out anymore. I rarely play out. I use it, but I love it. It's a study. It's a lifelong study. I've educated myself. I've had a couple of teachers along the way, but basically, I've educated myself. And that's my thing. If my thing were, shoving bananas up my kazoo in public, then that would be another thing. And, as long as people aren't being openly obscene and shocking children and warping children's minds, then I say let them be, as long as they're not harming anyone else. Is what I'm saying is, as long as anyone's not harming anyone else, let them be who they are. So if you have somebody in your life that you're going, well, you know, they're like so-and-so. They're like, forget it. Accept them. Love them. Or as the Master said, forgive them. Love them as you love yourself. This is your Uncle Maddy signing off. I love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.